How's it going, YouTube? Today we are working on a Chevy Equinox. We're going to be taking the rear door panel and the front door panel off. Pretty simple door panel take off. All you should need is a size 7 socket, a plastic trim tool, and then also a pick. The pick in particular, which I'll show you guys, if you do have a hook one, I'll show you guys why you want this one in particular once we take the door panel off. But first things first, we'll go ahead and take off our covers. We have one behind the door handle, one behind the grab handle. There's a cutout for the one behind the door handle, so just kind of stick your pick in there and kind of pop it free. And then you're going to have one behind the grab handle, same thing, there's a little cutout, so just kind of stick your pick underneath there. This one's rubber. Just kind of pull it free. Once you get the covers off, that'll show the screws. You're going to have one behind the door handle, and you're going to have two behind the grab handle. Alright, now we have the screws out, so we can actually pop the door panel off. Grab your plastic trim tool, kind of start at the bottom, make some room. These clips are kind of tight, so they might pop out as you're pulling the panel. But that's okay, just put them back in before you reinstall it. But what I'm getting at is you kind of have to give it a little bit of force to pop these, I've noticed compared to other SUVs. Just kind of go all the way around. Alright, once you get to the top, normally there's a door lock cover right here, this one's actually missing. But once you get to the top and you have all the clips free, all the way around, there's the rubber gasket that actually goes on top of the glass is actually stuck to the door panel. So it's kind of weird, but you want to shimmy it up, but it's going to act like it doesn't want to go because the rubber is still on the actual frame. So I kind of just try to get one side free. Kind of wiggle, but you'll kind of notice it as you're doing this, but it just acts like it wants to stay, and you'll feel like you're breaking it. And there's actually one of the clips I was telling you about you'll need a hook tool for, and this is that rubber gasket I'm telling you about. See, I was trying to stick. Alright, there it goes. So as you can see, or if you may not be able to see it on the camera, but the rubber actually comes off with the door frame, or with the door cover, I'm sorry. So I call these sweeps, but some guys just call them, you know, just the rubber that goes behind the door. But you'll want to reinstall this before you put the door panel back on. But let me go ahead and show you guys these clips real quick of what I'm talking about. Alright, we're on the front side of the door now. I'm going to try to explain this by myself, holding this camera. But you're going to have 5 of these metal clips, which I have right here. So you've got one right there, 2, which I'm pointing right here, 3, 4, and the 5th one's in my hand. But you see how they're still in the actual door panel when you go to take it off? So those are actually need to go back on the rubber gaskets. What you have to do is you have to pop them off, which isn't too hard. All they are is they're just kind of squeezed in, so you have to push both these sides down, and they kind of fall back out of the door panel. But you have to get all 5 of these out, and then you see these little gaps right here in the actual frame. You have to then stick them back on, just like so. And then once you have your rubber gasket and you're ready to put everything back together, you'll kind of slide it back on just like so, and it'll go over that little clip, and then you'll actually push the door panel back onto these clips. So like I said, pretty easy door panel to take off, but those clips can be kind of a pain. So what I usually do, so I'm not probably going to be able to show you guys with just one hand with how dark it is over here, but usually I grab this pick, I kind of reach in from the backside, squeeze up like I was showing you guys, and then kind of pull out kind of like so. I know I'm doing a horrible job explaining this, but you'll kind of get it if you're kind of in the midst of doing this door panel. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about. But I kind of just stick the pin in behind it, push up, and then kind of pull out. And I've noticed that's the easiest way. Some guys use flatheads. You'll be able to. Like I said, the main thing of those clips are, you just have to as long as you're squeezing these two together, they'll pull right out of the door panel. As for the rest of the door, it's pretty simple. You're just going to have 2 clips. Well, hold on, let me pop this back off. Try to have it holding on so I can hold the camera. But for the rest of the door handle here is just, you just squeeze this together, and it's going to be a little cable. Just pull that out, and then you're going to have one little, which is back here, but it's just a little push tab, and you'll pop it free. Pretty simple. And now we'll go ahead and move on to the front door. Alright, now we're on the front door panel. Pretty much the same process. It's a little tricky around this plastic trim right here. But I'll go ahead and show you guys it. Once again, just kind of put your pick in there. Pop the plastic cover off, go behind the grab handle, get the rubber cover out. Go ahead and get our 3 screws out. Alright, now we have our 3 screws out. We actually go ahead and pop the door panel off. Once again, it might feel like it's stuck, but you just kind of have to pry on it, kind of find that sweet spot. There is a weird clip on the top of this driver's side door panel, which I'll show you guys too. I just remembered. Alright, so this is that plastic trim I was telling you about. It's kind of tucked, the door panel's kind of tucked in underneath it. So you kind of just have to be careful with that. But it will pop free. And then, like I said, there's a weird clip over here. There it goes. I'll go ahead and show you guys that real quick. Hopefully you kind of see it, but it's like super high up on this door panel. And like I said, you're gonna have those 5 metal clips as well. So we'll go ahead and start fighting those now. But we want to make sure we're clear on this side, which it looks like we are. Alright, so now we should just be able to start weaseling up. Like I said, it's going to act like it doesn't want to come off, but it's just that rubber gasket. I'm not sure why Chevy did it like this, but they did. Alright, there it went. Alright, it's actually still caught over here. Alright, there it went. Alright, so go ahead and take this rubber gasket off. And like I said, you're going to have those 5 metal pins. Go ahead and clip those out. Door handle and everything's still the same way, just a little white. Go ahead and show you guys. This one's a white one instead of a black one. So once again, just kind of push this down, clip it out. And same thing, you're just going to have 2 little pull tabs, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they're pull tabs, so just pull them out. Same thing, you got 2 of those. Well, that's it, guys. Like I said, pretty easy door panel. It's kind of frustrating with the clips. But that's how you take off the front door panel and the rear door panel on a Chevy Equinox. Thanks for watching.